my name is Lisa Grace and this is Nailchemy's YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, right, so I've already got my tip down, I've done all my cuticle work and I've prepped my nail. So I'm going to come straight in with the nail prep and then the Ultra Bond. Make sure you're using your Ultra Bond nice and sparingly. And it needs to go on the nail as well, not the tip. And I'm doing an acrylic design, so the first thing I'm going to do is come in with a clear acrylic base. So I'm using my medium speed monomer today. I'm going to come in just with a small bead of clear. Up around the cuticle and then just wash that down. Make sure you're keeping this really nice and thin. Just makes life much easier when we come to do a redesign. Just need a little bit more. Oh, a bit of fluff again, Sam. Always with the fluff. Oh, I got that one out. That's all right. No encapsulated fluff on this nail. Okay, so I'm going to be doing some acrylic blocking on this nail and I'm going to be using Peach, which is one of the core powders. Really like this colour, it's so lovely. So because this is a core powder, I don't necessarily need to cap this. So I'm not going to be keeping it super thin like I would if I was using a design powder. So I can pop this up around the cuticle, tuck it into place. And then I can start pulling this down the nail to where I want it. Stay on the nail, please. So I'm actually going to be cutting at an angle. So just with my brush, I'm going to start forming roughly the shape that I want. My brush is not playing today. What's up with my brush? What is up with my brush? So you don't need to cut your acrylic. If you want to, you can just form it with your brush. But when you are cutting your acrylic, you need to make sure that you get it at the right time. Make sure this is all nice and smooth. But by cutting your acrylic, you're guaranteed a nice straight edge. So lots of people use lots of different things before cutting their acrylic. I like to use dental floss. So I get my dental floss and I'm just going to give that a bit of a twist. And I'm going to dip it in my clear acrylic powder. My dental floss is not playing ball today. Neither is my ball. Nothing's playing ball today. So by dipping it in your clear acrylic powder, it's going to stop it from sticking. Oh, Sam, can I just rest your finger?
You rest my finger wherever you need it.
Please, so I've got something to lean on. Yeah, so by dipping it in your clear acrylic powder, it's going to stop the acrylic sticking to it, so you can make a nice clean cut like that. Nice and clean. Don't worry about how you see how it's kind of bunched up and made it a little bit lumpy. Don't worry about that because that will file out. So I can have that back now. So in this next section, we are going to lay down some glitter and I'm going to be using fruit salad. I think this is going to be a really nice contrast with the peach acrylic. So you need your clear acrylic for this section. And what I'm going to do is pick up a bit of the clear, nice and thin. And I'm going to press this all along the edge here. And then with the residue that's on my brush, I can dip straight into my glitter and start packing this on. So make sure it doesn't go up onto the peach acrylic. And again, I'm going to try and keep this in a nice line. And then what I can do is get my clear acrylic and I'm going to cap that section. So this is the next block. So clear acrylic on. Make sure all of that is covered. And in place. Take away any excess. Again, I kind of start forming my line with my brush, but I will come in and cut this again. Make sure it's all staying on the nail. Especially in these corners between your cuts, make sure the acrylic is really in there, otherwise you'll end up with little gaps. Okay, so while that's setting up, I can get my dental floss out again and I'll re-dip it back into my clear acrylic just so that it doesn't stick. But I need to let this acrylic set up just a little bit longer. It's not quite ready to be cut yet. If you cut it too soon, it'll just keep moving. Pop your finger on there again for some. It's always best to have something to lean on when you're cutting your acrylic. Okay, that looks about right now. So again, I'm going to come in, I'm going to match that line. I'm going to come in, press and pull. So when you press it, make sure you're wrapping all the way around that nail, otherwise you won't take these corners away. Okay, and when you're happy with that, we can go back into the peach. Now I'm actually going to be encapsulating something on this bottom section as well, so my peach I do need to keep thin enough. So not too big a bead. I can butt that right up to that last section that we did. Make sure we've got full coverage right down to the tip. Take off any excess. Don't worry about how lumpy bumpy it's looking in certain places. It's fine. And then I've got this little gold metal heart that I'm going to be popping just on the corner here, if it gets off my picker-upper thingy. There we go. And then I can press that into the acrylic and make sure it's nice and secure. And then we'll be capping that as well. So once that's in and you're happy, I can come in and cap the end of this nail. And bring this nail up to the thickness that we need. And then that will protect that heart from being filed off or knocked off. You can stick these on top with top coat or some of the... now I'm terrible at pronouncing this, so guys, I'm sorry if I get this wrong, but I think it's called Crystal Totalis, Crystallis Totalis. It's the clear gem glue from Nailchemy that is now back in stock. But I'm terrible at pronouncing things, as you've probably already figured out. That's why I like to pick products with names that I can definitely pronounce. I'm awful though, aren't I, Sam? I can never pronounce anything.
Don't you worry about stuff like that.
Okay, right, so I'm happy with the end of this nail. However, I am missing a little bit of an apex. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back in with the peach. I know that the thickness of this nail here is spot on. It's actually too thick, so I know it'll file out. So if this peach does end up going over it, I know it will come off, so I'm not going to panic. So I'm just going to pop an apex bead in, let that kind of settle, and just fill in that apex that we're missing. So don't worry if that comes over the top and kind of fades it out a little bit because it will file out. It's fine. Right, so I'm going to let this nail set and let you see how lumpy bumpy it is right now, and I'm going to give it a good file, and then you'll see the transformation in 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Okay, so that's the transformation just from filing. So I've given it a file and I've buffed and I've wiped over with acetone as well. But it just goes to show, even if the nail is looking a little bit ugly, a file can bring it out. So we are now ready to come in with our no wipe top coat. So let's get this on, and that'll just bring everything to life. Make sure you're covering the whole nail. Cap that end, and then that can go in for a full cure. There we go, guys, and I'm going to finish this off with a drop of bubblegum. And then just give that a massage around the cuticle and up the finger. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Don't forget to give us a little thumbs up, hit like on that video, drop any comments that you've got down in the comment section below, and more importantly, make sure you hit subscribe so that you get a notification for all of our future videos. All of the products that I've used today you can find on our website, which is nailchemy.co.uk, and I will see you in the next video.